Hey everyone, Andy with Fates Forge, excited to continue this journey here. We're going over the Wolves of Langston using this Kindle e-reader as a source for this D&D podcast. This is a solo adventure from the folks at Oblivious Mimic. Please check them out as this keeps dying. Why does this keep dying? There we go. As we are going to be using their source and their Wolves of Langston ebook for the majority of this narrative. It's been a fun go at this campaign, and I did a gothic horror campaign a few years ago with the whole table. Right now, I'm in a in-between phase with, I think, my campaign, and so I wanted to do something in between while still giving you guys some content. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead. I think I fixed the audio, being able to have it much louder, and so I think that's going to be better for your guys' viewing and listening experience if you're listening to us. Why don't you throw a follow? Why don't you throw a like, a subscription, whatever it is that you use or listening to this on, it would be appreciated as we jump back into the Wolves of Langston. So we're going to go ahead here, and I don't want to show off my password. I have to unlock this guy. It's kind of in this standby mode here. Okay, Chapter 4, Helping Mayor Anthram. So the mayor is, I think she's a half-orc. I also decided to make the text a little bit larger so that you guys have a better viewing experience. And then I brought out a few more of my maps. So hopefully it's not too glary. You can already see there's some significant glare. Let's go jump back into it. After you've eaten, you make your way once again to the town hall. As you make your trip, you feel like you've started to see a rhythm in life here in Langston. You're seeing many of the same people going and coming from the market, craftspeople of all kinds, quietly going about their business, if not for an undercurrent. I forgot to go live on TikTok. Whoops a daisy. Let's go live on TikTok really quick. I did everything but go live on TikTok. Whoops a daisy. D&D Adventure. This is part 3. Okay, let's go live. All right. Sorry about that, TikTok. Now we're ready. Okay. You're seeing many of the same people going and coming from the market, craftspeople of all kinds, quietly go about their business. If not for an undercurrent of fear seen in the occasional jump, start, or furtive look over the shoulder, Langston could be mistaken for any of the other sleepy towns that dot the land. But it is not all, but it's not. It's a place where killers walk in the streets at night, beasts invade gardens by day, and druids are trapped with their own powers. And now there's something else. So that was kind of interesting. Welcome, everyone. Larish and Winnie, thanks so much for joining me. There's a language I can't understand, so I would love to say hi to you, but I don't know how to pronounce it. We are jumping into the third part of this Wolves of Langston. This is a solo adventure, Dungeons and Dragons. I've got my map here. Here's my character, Anastasios. He is a warlock. And so we're going to be going back to the town hall. So thanks so much for joining. I just read the introduction of Chapter 4, which has to do with us helping out the mayor again. So if you don't mind, drop a like, drop a subscription, a follow, all that good stuff. We'll jump back into it. So we're going to go to page 193. The mayor's aide is waiting for you at the town hall. So let's find ourselves a nice little aide. Why, hello there. There's the aide. It's a little dark. You can see him. But I'm at the front doors of the town hall. Hi, AM. Thanks for joining. Hi. Welcome. Thanks for attending here. Aye, you there, he says. The mayor's been waiting for you. Follow me. He leads you through the mayor's office. Going through the mayor's office. Let's see, what would be the mayor's office? I have this kind of fun little map here. Why don't we make our way back here? See if there's an office that I can jump to. Maybe we'll go to this office. This is a fine little office here. His Queen, thanks for joining. Appreciate you guys jumping into this solo adventure. We're just making our way into the town hall. Saf Yakia, thanks for joining. And Mukim, I don't know how to say your name. Camille, thanks for joining. Appreciate it, everyone. All right. Continuing on. Zoru, thanks for joining. Appreciate you joining here as well. Let's jump back into this. For some reason, there we go, right there. So the solo adventure we're using here is Wolves of Langston. He leads you to the mayor's office and leaves without a word. The mayor looks up at you as you enter. The mayor was this gal. I think she was a half orc. I can't remember though. It'll probably say it. He leads you to the mayor's office and leaves without a word. The mayor looks up at you. Buttercup maintains his position beside the desk. So it is a boy. I thought it was a girl. After the perfunctory greeting, Mayor Antharam says she needs you to investigate the report of bandits in the region. I knew it was a girl. Told you it was a girl. We will put this nice young lady right here. She will be the mayor. This is the figurine I'm using for the mayor. It's from Von Richten. Welcome, everyone. There's a lot of you guys rolling in. We're just doing a D&D solo campaign from basically a choose your adventure. Appreciate you guys joining us. Let me get some hellos here. Oh, man, a bunch of you guys have joined us. Mesrod, thanks for joining. Chelu, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Shami, thanks for joining. HB Sound, Leo, Mama Duke. There's a lot of you guys that have joined. Victor, appreciate you just joining. Troy, Sarah, and Mitha. Did I get that right? Thanks, everyone, for joining here. We're just going through the Wolves of Langston. And right now, we just met the mayor. I'm using this e-Kindle. It's called the Wolves of Langston. It's basically gothic horror, similar to Von Richten, or excuse me, the Ravenloft. What book is that called? Oh my gosh. With Strahd. There we go. Curse of Strahd. Hey, Joel. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Share the live. Invite your friends. We're just getting started here. 2026. Thanks for joining. David, thank you for joining as well. So now we've met the mayor. Let's see what the mayor has to say here. Reports are coming from two strangers that the citizens feel threatened, she says. Likewise, there's a number of farm animals missing. Also, other items of value. The arrival of these strangers is likely related. Mayabel's death could also be related to those strangers. I want you to investigate. We have started to investigate Maybelline, not Mayabel, Maybelline's death. She died at chapter 1. We're in chapter 4 of this book. Roll an insight check against DC 15. If you pass, then you succeed. So let me show you my character. My name is Anastasios. Where is my dungeon D&D? There it is. Here's my D&D character. Let's go to character and find from my list. No, his name was not Athanasios. It was Vasilios. I'm level 2, handsome ASMR, and right now we need to make a insight check. My insight is very poor. I've got a +1 to my insight, so why don't we roll this big chunky dice to see if I succeed. Now, I do have inspiration, so I think I might use it because it's so poor. They gave me inspiration at the end of last chapter, so we're going to roll with an advantage. While I'm rolling, I'm going to say hi to Mr. Broken and Darwin. Thanks, guys, for joining. We got a 10 on our first roll. Let's go ahead and roll again. We got an 8. So that's going to put us at a 10 plus my insight, which is a +1. That's 11, which means I fail. I did not roll enough to insight the mayor. Darwin, thanks for joining. Shade, welcome. And Edward, thanks for joining as well. All of you guys, thanks for joining my stream. We are trying to make an insight check, and we failed. Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining as well. We failed, so we're going to go to page 173. 173, it's clear there's something the mayor isn't telling you, but it's unclear what it could be. It's also clear that the mayor's demeanor, that taking on this task is non-negotiable. You have no choice and you accept. Well, that's what happens when you fail your insight check. Alexis and Thygo, thanks so much for joining, everyone. Appreciate it. We totally failed. Alrighty. And my AC just kicked on, so hopefully there isn't as much of that noise. Let me know if it's a little too loud. Let's see. Alexis, Elena, thanks so much, girls, for joining. We've got just an emoji. Infinity joined. Thanks for joining. And Menu. Mr. Lentz, or My Lentz, thanks for joining. All three of you guys, appreciate it. So we have but no choice to accept the proposal of the mayor here. So let's go ahead and jump back over to the mayor. This isn't working. Hi, everyone. Why don't we comment? Hi, everyone. And let's go back to this. Okay, so you can see here, I'm at the mayor's office. This is a little bit crooked. I can get that camera angle a little bit better. Here we go. And then let's see what she says. She says, you have no choice but to accept. 132. Give me your map of Langston, Mayor Antrim says with an outstretched hand. Once you hand it over, she uses the quill from her desk to circle an area outside of town in the wooded area up north. Search this area for the bandit camp and remove them from the area. By force if necessary. This should be well within your abilities. She looks at you and points to the wooded area around the supposed camp. Use the forest path. People are frightened of the murderer and the rumors of bandits. Some strangers on the road could cause panic. And everyone's joining right now. Thanks everyone for joining. Appreciate it. Lorna joined. Darman joined. Ara joined. Fandy Felix joined. Thanks everyone for joining. Mohammed, thanks for joining. Moises, appreciate you joining. Everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to hit a follow. More, thanks for joining. Darwin, I think I said hello already. Okay, so this could cause panic. It's suggested here that we be the ones that attack or investigate the bandits or the missing animals and whatnot. And so we're going to keep going here and move on. Let's see what happens. I kind of want to do a split screen here, but I'll do it in a minute. Let's see. What do our notes say? You agree, but it's more of a reflex to the mayor's raw authority than a conscious agreement. You take the map and say goodbye. I now have to go back to 176. Heading north as if traveling to nearby farmlands, you veer off the road of the woods east. You pick your way through the woods as you proceed. You keep an eye out on the sun through the trees and clouds and seek out any of the landmarks you might see on the map. This part of the forest is quiet, but lacks the unnatural stillness of Roy's woods when he was sick. It's just a peaceful forest full of all the hums and twitters of healthy natural environment. A river burbles somewhere off to the west. If you weren't marching towards almost certain violence, it would have been a very calming hike on the pleasant day. Welcome, Don. Welcome, Andre. Brad Limob. Thanks all three of you guys for joining us. We're just getting underway here. Okay, so we're on this calming hike, but apparently it's not calming because I'm a little nervous to jump into, a bandit's camp or fight a bunch of wild animals. It's just me. And so we'll see what happens. Nat, thanks for joining. Apple user, thanks for joining. Why don't we go ahead and move on to page 215. Page 215, you make your way through the woods. You come across a clearing ringed with old trees with thick gnarled trunks. The bird song is especially beautiful here, and the air smells of a heady mix of wild flowers and honey. Sitting in the center of the clearing on a stump, you see an unusual woman. Her skin is bright green and her hair is tangled of leaves and moss. She hasn't seen you. Her whole attention is on a robin resting in her outstretched hand as she laughs and twitters back to the little bird. You have found a dryad, a fey creature with a deep connection to the forest. Oh, that's super cool. I have to see what map I need to do. That's really cool. Check her out. I'm gonna make another. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna set another scene here. This is the dryad that I see. I don't know if I have a character, like a mini for it. I hope I do. I'm just fixing this scene here so you guys can see. Let's go push to live. Okay. What am I previewing? All right, so this looks a little bit better, I presume. Might be cut off a little bit. There we go. Okay, now you can see it's a little bit better. It's a little bit larger on screen. You sneak past. Let's see what I want to do. Do I want to sneak past? Do I want to attack or make my presence known? This is really the question for you guys out there. What do you think I should do? Do you want me to try to sneak past? I do have some proficiency in sneak, as you can see. My character, I have. Whoops. I have stealth, a +4 on my stealth. I don't have inspiration anymore. I do have some strong attacks here. I just got a +1 club. I have a rapier that does some damage, and I have a couple of spells. We could try to attack her from a distance. I think that would be fun. You guys let me know what we should do. Don Wizzy, thanks for joining. Nat, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. You guys tell me what I should do. With that said, I think I'm going to attack it. I like attacking things. That's generally what I like to do. So we're going to find a map here with a clearing, as it suggested, where we can attack this dryad. It's probably a bad idea. We are in a forest, and I do have some maps that are forest-like. We can do an ancient ruin. We can do a campsite. I have a grassy road. Why don't we do the grassy road? 26. That's fine. Don't make it too complicated, right? We go 26, 25, and 26. All right. We will make it very short and sweet. Move over here to the fighting scene. So we were here on the path. That's not me, that's me. We were here on this path and we ran into a dryad. We can have this little froggy represent the dryad, and let's zoom up a little bit. Oops, I just lost connection there. Okay, this is where we're at. So we're gonna go ahead and attack. And generally, I like to use stealth and do a surprise attack. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and roll against stealth here. See if they see me. Oh, whoops, I forgot. I have to do this. This one. I have to tap the button here. There might be additional instructions here with regards to when I make my choice. So we're going to attack 227. You attack the Dryad in the clearing, roll initiative. On the Dryad's first action, on the Dryad's second action. Okay, so let's go ahead and attack now. Let's roll initiative. I'm going to roll my initiative in gold and the Dryad's initiative in red. So the Dryad goes first. I go second. And let's show you what happens. On the Dryad's first action, the green-skinned woman with plant-like charm opens her hands in your direction, and you are hit with a wave that feels made of sunlight and emotion. You begin to feel drawn to her in a way not entirely under your control. Roll a wisdom save against a charm effect. Let's see if she can charm me. My whiz saves are poor. That's not necessarily what I'm strong in. Wisdom save. I am. Yeah, I do have a proficiency in wisdom save. So I have a +3. Let's roll on the gigantic dice. I got a 8. I had to get a 14 or higher. This is very bad. If you roll a 14 or more, if otherwise, go to 224. You are immediately overwhelmed with affection for this beautiful Dryad. Beautiful green-skinned woman in front of you. You relax and stop your attack. She smiles at you and waves, inviting you closer to sit beside her on the ground. She reaches for your coins and pulls out 1d6 pieces. Dang it. She takes my money. That's too bad. She takes 3 gold pieces. No. I'm just gonna cozy up next to her. She's sitting on a nice little soft patch of grass here. So cozy, so nice. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to remove 6 gold pieces from my inventory. Whoops-a-daisy. Let's go to money. We'll go 3 gold. Remove. Now I've got 10% loss in gold. That was terrible. That was horrid. Okay. Let's see. Even if you don't have enough, she makes it up with a missing number of silver coins or copper pieces. You offer the money as a gift. Here, Dryad, take my money, which she welcomes with a mischievous smile. She bids you a sarcastic goodbye, and she walks into the nearby tree, vanishing from sight. You sit alone in the clearing, missing your new friend until the effects of her charm wear off in an hour. Cursing yourself, your luck, and anyone else you can think of, you continue on your way towards the bandit camp. Wow, what a huge failure. That was a really nice Dryad. She was kind to me. She only took 1/10 of my gold. Having left the Dryad's clearing behind you, you make your way through the woods on your own, trying to follow the directions on the map. It isn't as easy as you thought it would be, but you can see the trees thinning ahead, so this must be the place. Approach the camp stealthily, go directly. We're going to try to stealth this time. 218. You drop into a crouch as you approach the advance on the bandit camp as quiet as you can. Roll a stealth check. If you get 10 or more, go to this. If you don't, go to this. So my stealth is pretty good. We're going to go to skills. I've got a stealth of +4. So as long as I get at least a 6 or more on the dice, then I'm going to succeed. Let's see what I get. I got an 8. Plus my 4 is 12, so that means I succeed. Excellent. So we succeeded our stealth. We're going to make our way into the bandit camp. If you get a 10 or more, go to 180. You remain hidden as you case the camp. You see nobody in or around the camp. The coast seems clear. Do you want to approach the camp or wait to see if anyone comes back? I'm not a very patient person. I think in general as a warlock, I'm kind of a jump into the fray kind of a person. So I'm going to go and approach the camp. While we're at that, I do want to pull out the map of a camp, of a bandit camp. I actually have one that says specifically a camp. There it is. Forest campsite 21. Let's pull out 21. It's a daisy that got rid of my color. It's going to burn it. I have this nice book of maps here that are very great for this type of an adventure. Okay, 21. Camp. We'll put this camp out so you can see the campsite. It's nice. How come this is? I feel like this is zoomed up. It is zoomed up. That's why. So we've got this nice little campsite, and we're ready. Nice. Okay, there we go. No sound detected. What? Test. Yeah, there's sound. What? Is it because I didn't talk for a while? No, there's sound. Okay. All right, there is our campsite. Here is us creeping up. The camp isn't much all told, and you probably wouldn't think anything of it just stumbling across the site on your own. A competent but not impressive fire pit is set up at the center of the clearing, though no kindling appears to be gathered for tonight. Charred bones from a variety of small animals and other less recognizable detritus litter the ground. There doesn't seem to be any tent, but two rough lean-tos have been constructed to presumably keep bedrolls dry in the event of rain. I actually do have some lean-tos, I believe. I have some dungeon dressing, and I don't know where the lean-tos are, but I do have some camp. Yes, here's a lean-to. This is a lean-to. That's kind of fun. There's one lean-to, and then there's another lean-to. Love this dungeon dressing. And I would presume that they would be that direction, just like that. There's very little else that seems important in camp, though you can see an oilcloth bundle hanging from a tree to keep something off the ground, and always from curious animals. It's tied to the tree trunk with a rough hemp rope. Roll an intelligence investigation to search the camp for anything you may have missed. We will go ahead into the camp and we will investigate. Let's do an investigation roll. My investigation is a +1, which is proficient. So I will go ahead and roll 16 plus 1 is 17. So we got 12 or more. We'll go to 207. 207. Whoops. You search through the bandit camp, starting with the oilcloth hung on the tree. A leather scroll case contains a rolled sheet of vellum. Examining the document, you see that it is a warrant and is made out to someone named Horace and Titch. The bandit's name is presumably. It offers hundreds of gold pieces in reward for information regarding the criminal's location and thousands of her for her capture, dead or alive. Wow, this is a big. This is, what is it called? What are we calling this? Uh-oh. What happened here? This warrant. The warrant is for the Wolf of the Road, who has an obvious orcish name you don't recognize. They are wanted for the killing of a constable in the Three Rivers. Not knowing what to make of this, you take the document with you until you can find out more. These bandits have clearly fallen on hard times as their gear seems all tattered and in poor repair. It's likely any valuables they might have are also kept on their person. However, elsewhere in the clearing you find a smaller oilcloth rolled up and stuck into a deep knoll on the tree. On this second oilcloth, you've managed to find an agate brooch worth 15 gold pieces, and disguised with some ash, there's a flimsy jewel dagger worth 5 gold pieces. Excellent. Leaving the rest of the bandits' junk, you note that the day is coming to an end soon, and you will need to hurry back to town to report to the mayor. So we will add 20 gold to my inventory for finding the brooch and the jeweled dagger, which is nice. Putting us at 40 gold. 42 gold. That's terrific. Okay, we're going back to 183. Your trip back to town is uneventful. As you walk, the roads are empty of other travelers, though that could also be explained by the quickly advancing nightfall. You keep your eyes on the timeline too, but no hungry wolves make another appearance either. No one wants to be caught outside after dark with an unknown killer out there, even the wolves. I didn't say that, but by the time you make it back to Langston, the sun is nothing more than a faint blush on the western horizon, and stars are just speckling the skies overhead. It's later than expected, but you feel that the warrant should be discussed immediately. As you arrive to the town hall, the sun is completely gone. The building is dark, but you run into the mayor's aide, locking up just as you arrive. The mayor isn't here, he says in response to a question. No, she does often stay into the night. She seemed distracted after receiving a sealed message earlier today. She wouldn't tell me what was in it, but she left shortly after. You let him know it's incredibly urgent and that you need to speak to the mayor Anatharam right now. He gives you the directions to her house and bids you good night. Ooh, we're going to have a night approach. We're going to have a night encounter. As you approach the mayor's home, you see 2 shabbily dressed men lounging by the entrance to her garden. One is tall and lean with a sharp face that seems set in a permanent grimace of contempt. The other must be Titch. So this must be Titch. The other, presumably Horace, has a smug smile on his face as he scratches idly his protruding belly. Both wear equally mismatched clothing and piecemeal light armor, as if everything they have is scavenged from those even less fortunate than them. As you watch, the mayor approaches from the other direction. She stops to scowl at the 2 men. You see her hand stray toward her belt as if reaching for a weapon, but she catches herself and stalks forward. The shorter of the pair waves and waggles his eyebrows. They greet each other, and not in a very friendly manner, though they are too far for you to hear specifics. After a brief exchange, they all go into the house together. Horace leads the way while Titch takes up the rear. A moment after the door shuts, lamplight illuminates from the front window. Wow. Lots of interesting and exciting events have transpired. We unfortunately failed our attempt to try to kill that dryad. We made our way into the bandits' camp, didn't find anything but a warrant, and it seems like we found the 2 bandits that are related to it, as well as who could also be a possible suspect for the killings that have been happening. Let's jump back into this and see what happens at the mayor's house. There's Horace and Titch, which I think are pretty fun. Let me move this over a little bit more so you can see better. You approach the house, go to 197. The mayor's house is a large single-story home with a small neglected garden and a thick wooden door like Like the rest of the town, it's built on a stone foundation with timber framed walls. Lamps have been lit inside and glow through closed curtains. Despite the thickness of the door, however, you can clearly hear voices raised in anger inside. You can continue listening. I can knock, I can force the door open, or try to pick the lock with thieves' tools. Let's see what I have in my repertoire. As far as abilities, sleight of hand would probably be the best. I do have thieves' tools, so I think I'm going to go ahead and try to pick the lock. Quietly pick the lock. You look either way down the dark street and don't see anyone nearby before pulling your thieves' tools out of your pack. Roll proficiency check with your thieves' tools to get a 15 or more. Okay, so we have a +4 on our check with these tools. So let's see if we pass that. We don't have any other benefits. Oh, natural 20, baby. That's a perfect roll. A critical roll. Critical success. We got a 15 or more. 1, 3, 4. Gain inspiration. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. I got inspiration. The lock clicks and you open the door as quietly as you can to the front hall of the mayor's house. Not that the precautions are necessary, as the conversation going on next door masks any sound you might make, maybe short of trying to break the door down. I'm glad I didn't. You will leave my town, shouts the mayor. You will leave my town, shouts the mayor. You will hurt no one and leave. Little late for that now, eh, dear leader, says the voice dripping with smugness. Keep that dog keep that dog on a leash, Lash. On a short leash, cries another. I don't like the way it's looking at me. What are you laughing at, Horace? Well, Titch, my lean friend, you rather look like a bone, don't you? There was a gruff, followed by some restrained cursing from the other man. I don't disagree, dear former leader, that is. We haven't worked for the Wolf of the Road since when, Titch? You start moving carefully up the hall. That was since Three Rivers, Horace, a tight voice identified as Titch says. When she used the battle to cover her sneaking off with our loot. With our loot, bellows Horace, but he continues in his previous joviality. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak. Not so much the wolf of the road and more of a fox. A squirrel even. It tarnishes your legacy, doesn't it? You can either announce yourself or continue listening. We're going to continue listening. You manage to peek into the mayor's parlor, and while you can't see much of the environment, you can see the back of two hoodlums you saw outside. Now, there was this pretty young thing that we met, Wolf. The chubbier one says, I think we met her on the road somewhere. The market, the skinny one says. Oh, right, the market. Well, a lovely little wisp of a thing, very disarming. Might have let slip the reason for our visit. You know how I am around pretty pairs of eyes. That was you, the mayor shouts, then brings herself under control of the visible effort. You will pay for that. You decide to announce yourself before things escalate further. Oh, I didn't want to. I just wanted to listen. You step out of the hiding and loudly announce yourself. Everyone jumps and reaches for weapons at their belt. Only the guard dog doesn't react, as if it's been aware of you the whole time and just didn't react. Bloody hell, curses the short, portly brigand. What in the hell did you come from? Calm yourself, the mayor says, resting a hand on her dog's head. I have been expecting company. Couldn't warn us, the plump one grumbles. The lean bandit relaxes his grip on his dagger, but doesn't let go entirely. The plump bandit continues. Who's this? An investigator I've hired, the mayor says. While the bandits are getting over their shook, you've been looking around the room for any other threats. Now in the parlor, you can see that the home is well appointed with comfortable furniture and snug little kennel for the dog. The walls aren't bare and includes a few oil paintings, some sconces for lamps, and other generic decorations expected of a person in the mayor's position. All of it is rather bland, however, as if she selected her surroundings based on someone else's taste. Except maybe it's stained battle axe hanging over the mantle. A low fire is just getting going in the hearth. The two bandits are standing closer to you, between you and the mayor's position with her dog. The mayor is sitting in the dining room chair, one hand on her dog, as if restraining him with her light touch. Both are still, but with a tightly coiled fury. You introduce yourself as an investigator finding the culprit behind the murder of a young woman. As you speak, the shorter, round bandits make an elaborate show of listening and nodding. The taller, thinner one lounges against the wall, hands resting comfortably on a knife at her belt. "Did you have something to do with that?" the chubby one asks sweetly. His compatriot chuckles and shrugs. "Maybe a pretty young lady found out your little secret while collecting berries in the woods, maybe, or from a conversation in the market. You're starting to put everything together, but you look to the mayor for more." Oh man, it's starting to come out. Mayor Anathram sits in stony-faced silence. Her eyes shift into the middle distance, but her dog continues its vigil of the room. "Well, I'm Horace, and this lean-looking lad is my good friend Titch," says the shorter of the pair, breaking the silence. "Your employer here, well, hells knows what name she's given you, but we know her as the Wolf of the Road." He produced a wanted poster clearly labeling the Three Rivers Constabulary. There's an accurate image of Mayor Anathram on it, right down to the wounds where her scars are now apparent. "So your pet plush sleuth knows," says Titch to the mayor, "but if you don't open up the town coffers, or we don't make it back to camp by morning, our friends back in camp are going to tell everything in town about your little secret. And we've got more proof like this. You take this opportunity to point out that there aren't any conspirators back at the camp, only the warrant, and that is somewhere safe." "I see," says the mayor. Her smile is far more unsettling than her scowl. The two bandits glance at each other, the blood drained from their faces. Mayor Anathram pats her enormous dog's head as it begins to growl. "You can try to threaten them into running away or attack them." "I want to attack them. Let's attack." You engage Titch, the quick, lean bandit nearest you. Horace tries to help, but the mayor and Buttercup engage him. If you reduce the bandit to 0, or if the bandit reduces you. Okay, so I'm against Titch and they're against Horace. So let's fight. Let's go back to this town picture. Let's say that we are here in this hallway. I don't have a dog. We've got my character. Where's my character? My character's right here. Let's say this is Titch. And then we need a dog. I don't really have a dog. We've got the mayor, who's right here. She's got her dog, which I'll use this little pet. And then I will use this guy. We'll put these two bad guys as our bad guys. Okay. Let's roll initiative. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so we've got 2 bandits and we've got 2 good guys. And the dog will act on the good guys. So, both bandits go last. We will have the girl. We will have, what's her name? The mayor go first, then I'm second. Okay. Alrighty, so we will have the girl go first. She's going to pull out a dagger from under her blouse. She does 12. She does yeah, 12 to hit, which hits. She's going to have a dagger with a +2 on it. That's going to be 6 points. Her dog's going to attack. What was that sound? The dog misses. Let's go into battle music, actually. I want to finally move into battle music. All right, battle music. Now it's my turn. I'm going to attack Titch with Booming Blade. Booming Blade misses. Titch is going to attack me. Titch hits. He's going to hit for 1d4. He does 3 points of piercing damage. Oof. 3 damage. And then Horace is going to hit the mayor. He hits. He's going to hit for a d6 because he's using a club and does 3 points of damage to her. Top of the round, we're going to have the mayor go now. The mayor is going to attack with her pooch. She hits. The pooch misses. She's going to do another d6. That's going to be 2 points of damage. Horace is bloodied. It's going to be my turn now. I miss. Let's go Horace and Titch. Horace is going to be the red one. Horace hits. Titch misses. Horace hits the girl for 3 damage. She's taken 4. Let's go to the top of the key. Towns lady, she hits. She's going to hit Horace for 3, and he goes down. Oof. Oh, how dare you. And then the dog's going to go rough at Titch. Horace goes down. The dog, oh wait, the dog missed. And we can move him up like that. I forgot the dog missed. I rolled both. It's my turn now. My turn. I'm going to go. Man, I have been rolling so stinking low. Titch's turn. He hits me. Where's my D? Here we go. Ow! He does 4 damage. Whoops, that was the wife. He does 4 damage. Oof. Now it's top of the key. We will have the dog and Towns lady both miss. Dang. She gets a critical 1 and drops her weapon. Titch is gonna... No, I'm gonna go next. Ah, man, I've been rolling so poorly. And Titch is gonna roll. He misses. Okay, top of the key. This is ridiculous. She's gonna have to use an action to pick up her weapon. The dog's gonna try to hit. The dog misses. It's my turn. I'm gonna roll a different dice. There we go. I finally hit. Booming Blade. I'm gonna hit with a D8. First damage. That's a 5 plus. I think I have a +2 to hit. 2, yeah. So that's 7 points. He's almost down. His turn. He is going to disengage and try to run away. He's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to try to run away. Hey, Joshua. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the stream. We were just trying to take out this bandit who tried to attack the mayor. Speaking of which, we're at the top of the key. The mayor is going to go. She's now got her weapon. She's going to run up to it. Our dog is going to run up to him as well. She hits, and she's going to do D5 with her short sword, a D6, and takes down Titch. Titch goes down. Okay. This is what Titch looked like. My mouse go. If you guys are watching the stream, this is what Titch looked like. Titch is gonzo. Whoops. The bandits reduce you. Go. Okay. You overpower the bandit named Titch, and he falls to the ground. As you're about to finish him off, he holds up a feeble hand, and his eyes beg for mercy. His unpleasantness gives you a moment of pause. Stop, cries the mayor Anathram. I've caused enough death and destruction. I will see no more in this house. Horace throws his hands up and drops his knife while Buttercup snarls at him without advancing. The mayor is still standing still and imperious, but the battle has just pulled the aging battle axe off the wall. The weapon hangs ready at her side. Let the bandits live or kill him anyway. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Titch begs for his life as you land the final blow. He sags to the floor and rattles his last breath. The mayor's eyes burn with fury, and Buttercup's heckles rise as he bares his teeth at you. You are no longer under contract, and are expected to leave town immediately, the mayor snaps. There will be no gold, and if you show your face in this town ever again, you'll be hung for murder. Horace, the same goes for you, she says, spinning on the coward bandit. Now get out of my home, both of you. You may keep whatever treasure and items you have collected, but receive no experience or levels. Your adventure ends here. What? So I wasn't supposed to kill him. How do I go back? Oh, crap. I wish I knew where I came from. Shoot. Let's go back. Dang it. I didn't want that to happen. There's got to be a go back button. 170. It was 184. I'm glad I'm recording this because I wouldn't have been able to know. 184. Okay, we won't kill him. Fine. That's really silly. Why can't... Whatever. It's kind of lame. Okay, 184. I let them live. 231. You stay your hand and leave Titch trembling with fear on the ground. Horace raises his hands higher above his head. You look at the mayor one last time, and she nods. You command both Titch and Horace to be gone. Titch heaves himself to his feet, and Horace sidles closer to him, and you on your way towards the door. You two, the mayor says, producing a full battle axe she was able to hide behind her leg. This is the only time I will spare you. If I ever see you again, I will end you. Yes, of course. What? I mean, Mayor, Horace stammers. He then looks straight at you. You may see you around sometime, though. He tries to hide his fear with a charmy grin, but it's pure bravado. Titch beckons his squatter partner to help him out, and the two leave carefully but quickly through the front door. 191. Now that you're alone, you give Mayor Anathram the bounty. She reviews the letter, and Buttercup pads over to his kennel and lies down. Clearly, you're now on the safe list. I did not kill him, she says, and I do not know who did. He was alive when I escaped with Buttercup. Mayor Anathram actually sighs as she returns her old battle axe to the mantle. She explains that she was once the leader of a bandit crew for a time, turning to a life of crime after falling into a chasm between orc and human societies. It came to her as naturally as breathing, and she rose up and led her own band. She went by the name Wolf of the Road because she led her pack of bandits to the next meal. They operated in the Three Rivers area, robbing caravans or travelers and raiding villages when wealthier travelers became scarce. I was a warrior once, she says, looking at her hands, but then I was just a thief. But when one of the resistant leaders was killed, a constable of Three Rivers, and the whole area erupted into conflict, thinking it was an assassination. In truth, it was Horace and Titch who broke into his home and tried to threaten him into easing up on the band of thieves. They were overly enthusiastic and beat the man to death, tied to a chair in his own home. I was responsible, the mayor says. They wait a minute. She led the band, right? And she told Horace and Titch to kill him, and to beat him up, but they ended up killing him. So isn't she responsible? Isn't she the responsible party? She gets mad when I kill Titch. Not cool, not cool. Hi, Kari. I said 6'7". Oh boy. I was responsible. They were my men that murdered this man where he slept, but I refused to be responsible for the next one. I used the chaos and the unrest to escape. She took her bandits to an impossible raid of the invading force. While her crew was being overwhelmed, she just disappeared into the night to join the stream of refugees and found her way to Langston with Buttercup at her side. The people of Langston assumed she was a veteran, and she never corrected them. She lied about everything, and the whole time she's been at Langston, she's determined to make things right. But Maybelline had found out, probably from Horace or Titch visiting the market, and stirred up trouble. But Maybelline died. I have changed. I was a warrior once, then a thief, but I was not a murderer. She paused to take a breath. Maybelline did not see it that way. We argue, the mayor says. She did not think someone with my past should be in any position. I disagreed and convinced her that I am better suited to protect Langston from threats. She set her jaw and then looks at you and sees tears shining in her eyes. I was wrong. The next night, something killed that girl. It was not me. A loud crack rings out and you jump. Turning, you see that the source is Buttercup, who has just snapped what looks like the femur of a sheep in half and is licking out the marrow. This is where we are now. We must conclude quickly before my town loses itself to fear. But I wish to show my thanks for your help. Please let me offer you something from my previous life. So the mayor is offering you something to protect yourself. Go to 172 or do some damage. The mayor is offering you something to protect yourself or to do some damage. I want to do some damage. You say that you want to be able to do some damage. You may not have that. The mayor is saying as she points her battle axe hung on the hearth, but you may have this. She retrieves a box from the shelf and opens it, revealing a beautifully crafted dagger. The blade shimmers with a pale light of its own. It's called Moonshard for obvious reasons, said Mayor Anathram. Add Moonshard to your inventory. You tuck away the dagger. Where is it? Moonshard, dang. That's sick. This magical dagger glows with the brightness of a full moon. When unsheathed, the radius illuminates 15 feet of bright light and 15 feet of dim light. So it's basically a dagger of light. Let's add dagger. Dagger. I don't know how to spell dagger. Let's see. Dagger warning, dagger warning, dagger warning. No. There's no light. Or let's go back. It's 171. What? Oh, that's cool. You can zoom into the picture. That's great. Do I want protection? Let's see what he gives me. You say that you would like better be protected from whatever that is. Take this then, says the mayor, lifting the amulet off her neck. This will protect you from all manner of beasts. It's helping when training Buttercup to fight. She hands you the amulet, and Buttercup huffs for a moment before putting the huge head back down on his paws. Add Lesser Amulet of Beast to your inventory. Lesser Amulet of Beast. When attuned to this amulet, gain resistance to any natural attacks made by creatures with the beast type. This includes attacks made by shape changers in beast form. This does not include weapon or spell damage. They are both dealt normally. Wow. Resistance to natural attacks by creatures. That's actually pretty OP. So we will add that. Let's add an item. This is called Lesser Amulet of the Beast. When attuned to this amulet, gain resistant to any natural attacks made by creatures with the beast type. I'm absolutely going to be adding that. That's fantastic. That's ridiculous. Let's put on the amulet. Alrighty, let's see. I've got people contacting me. What? Okay. So let's move on. You slip the amulet around your neck, go to 222. You thank the mayor for the gift and ask if there's anything else that can be done. No, she says, that will be all. I trust you find your way out. It is an exhausting day. Let's go ahead and change the audio back to pleasant audio rather than battle music. Thank you. And I want to move this up just a tad to 3. All right. She balls up the wanted poster and warrant. She throws them into the low burning fire and walks away without another word, but the poster rolls out of the flame before it catches. A door closes towards the back of the house. Buttercup remains to unsurreptitiously to keep an eye on you while you are out. Take the poster and bounty or place both in the fire. I'm definitely thousands of gold. Are you kidding me? She's a hardened criminal. I'm going to take it out. Add a wanted poster to your inventory. Add mayor's warrant. Yes. Wanted poster. A wanted poster of the mayor of Langston. Let's add another item. We're going to add bounty. Mayor's bounty. The bounty for the mayor for thousands of gold. All right. As you're storing the poster, you see that Buttercup is staring at you. His gaze follows you as you leave through the front door, the same way the bandits had gone. A low rumbling growl emanates from the chest as you pass, but he doesn't move from where he's reclined. Go to the inn for the night. 202. It's late by the time you're leaving the mayor's house. The streets of Langstrom are completely empty, but the lamps are lit at least. As you make your way to the Pickled Hen, you scan the rooftops and alleys for any return of the creature you saw the other night. You see nothing and do not feel as if you're being watched. In fact, it's quiet and pleasant. After the hectic events of the day, the only sounds in the night are hidden crickets chirping and singing along, low howl from somewhere in the east. When you arrive at your room, a tray of dinner that has long gone cold awaits for you, and you eat it without really tasting it. Finally, you climb into bed for some much-needed rest, only vaguely aware of another howl in the night as the exhaustion takes you. that should end the chapter. You wake to feeling refreshed and ready for whatever day may bring you. Gain the benefits of a long rest. Excellent. Took about half my health. Your breakfast is waiting for you when you open the door, along with a neatly folded letter. The letter says, "Dear adventurer, my thanks for your assistance with yesterday's challenges. I hope that you are making progress in your investigation into the threat of my town. The victim is due to be buried tomorrow. Visit the temple and examine the body before then. Selene of the Radiant Order has been informed of your visit. Present this note if you have any problems." And then it's signed simply by the mayor as the mayor. Guessing that any thanks at all are the mayor's way of gushing with gratitude, you finish your morning meal and then make your way to the temple as suggested. Yes. Chapter 5. Chapter 5. Okay, each chapter's taking about an hour or so. So we are into it. Welcome, everyone. We'll take a quick break here and head into chapter 2. That will leave me about an hour until I have to wrap things up. Unfortunately, I didn't get to a battle. I want to fight. So this next time we do fight, we're going to fight. I'm sick of just going through the narrative, and I hope that you guys aren't bored with it. I like the battles as they're really fun. I failed my first battle. I did have a battle with those bandits, and I killed them, but when I tried to actually kill them, the mayor got upset, and I ended the entire adventure. So, chapter 4 was great. Let's move on to chapter 5. I'm going to take a quick break, and don't go anywhere, please, as I take a quick break. I appreciate it. Okay, we're back, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed your break. We are on chapter 5 of The Wolf of Langston. This is a solo D&D adventure. I've been very enjoying myself. We did have a couple of battles in chapter 4. We got more into the mystery of this book and some of the main actors. It seems like the mayor isn't as honest, or as, what's the word? Seems like she is more of a suspect than anyone else that we've seen. We met with the boyfriend a while ago, or the fiance 2 chapters ago, but it seems like she was involved in some shenanigans before she became mayor, and now we're ready to investigate more of the death by going to the temple and checking out the body before it is laid to rest. This is Maybelline, who is a young lady who found out about the mayor, and maybe days before of her death, she found out the mayor's secret, which was related to her previous life. And she is definitely a suspect here. Let's go ahead now and jump into chapter 5, speaking with Solane. Solane is the local cleric of, I guess, the town of Langston. We're going to go to the temple here and check out Solane and see what Solane has to say. The Sun Temple is easy to find as it towers over every other in Langston, piercing the sky on the eastern edge of town. As you approach, you see that unlike the timber walls and whitewash of the rest of the town, the temple is made from limestone that shines in the morning sun, even though it is scoured from centuries of rain and wind. This building was here long before the rest of the town, and will likely continue standing after Langston was lost to history. It's early when you arrive. The entry to the temple faces west, so you approach. The morning sun seems to sink behind the spire. The courtyard in front of the temple contains an altar left open to the sun, surrounding by theater-style seating covered with the tile roof. The top of the altar is adorned with the same sunburst symbol you see on the temple spire. As you approach, a single large door presents itself as the obvious entrance. When you push against the door swings open easily to reveal a round room with benches around the walls. Passages branch off to the other cardinal points of the compass. However, the cleric is not there, as you had been led to believe. You can call out or explore one of the passages. We like to explore. We're a thief, so we might as well go do our curiosity. 196. From where you're standing in the central hall, the passage to the north appears to be a library of some sorts. The passage to the south opens to the dining hall. This means that the western passage leads to some kind of rectory or series of chambers. If you haven't done yet, you can explore the library, the living quarters, or the dining hall, or you can take a seat and wait for the cleric. We're going to go to the library. A large door to the north opens to a sizable library with several reading tables in the middle of the room. The 3 walls you can see are completely covered in bookshelves. A small stack of books and scrolls also rest on one of the tables. No one's here. Sounds like inactive. I'm not inactive. Why don't we end and we'll go live again? Just a second, everybody. We'll go live again. Okay, a large door to the north opens to a sizable library with several reading tables in the middle of the room. The 3 walls you can see are completely covered in bookshelves. A small stack of books and scrolls also rest on one table. No one is there. Hi everyone, thanks for joining. We are just jumping into chapter 5, the next part of this solo adventure D&D. Recommend. Thanks for joining. Jamie, Quad John, and X. Thanks you guys. Thank you so much for joining, guys. We are just kind of giving us a self-guided tour of this temple that we're in, to the cleric gods of the sun, which is kind of interesting. So we have just gone to the northern cardinal area that leads us to the library. You approach, a pile of books and scrolls made up mostly of religious texts and rituals, but you identify a few tomes of history as well. It seems to be what you'd expect a cleric to reference around the time of a funeral, including the source Solaine's referenced in the funeral, as well as a treatise on the treatment of common curses. Standing out among the leather-bound tomes is a single black book that is bound with some other skin. A tarnished metal lock lies open on the tome, and its title is written in script other than common. Read the book on curses or examine the black book. We've got two different options here. I kind of want to look at the black book. Black books are usually synonymous with books of people that are not good. But the cursed book may do a curse on us, so I kind of want to avoid that. Let's go to the black book. The black tome is bound in something similar to leather, but rougher, almost like shark skin, but with less regular spines and bumps. It smells faintly of brimstone and is oily to the touch, though your fingers come away from the material dry. The title of the book is written in a language that is very distant from common. It appears to be language from some other world. The jagged symbols are imprinted on the title in an unsettling deep red. You can try to understand the language if you know Celestial, which I do. Look at this. Look. I know Celestial because I am an Aasimar. I have to go to backgrounds. Possibly. No, it would be race. Languages. Oh, it's Draconic. Oh, I know Draconic, not Celestial. Infernal or Abyssal. Dang, I know Draconic. I don't know any of those. If you don't know any of these languages, you could use a spell or ability to read other languages, or you can just open the book anyway. I'm just going to open it. Images in the book include various forms of black sun iconography and some sketches of circles surrounded by glyphs you can't recognize, and some diagrams of nasty looking tools that could be weapons, torture implements, or specialized butcher tools. A whole section is devoted to what seems to be the study of corpses or bones. As you're leafing through the book, you find a small scrap of paper written in common. It says, "This one," and marks an entry that has images of what seems to be animated corpses. There is a variety of walking dead, from the mere skeletal remains of corpses with their rotting flesh intact. There are even illustrations of ghouls hunched over other corpses, feeding on the flesh of the dead. Without context, you aren't sure what is being said, and the illustrations are ominous enough. If you haven't done already, you can examine the Book of Curses, or you can return it to the library. Let's go look at the curses. This book is titled simply Compendium of Curses, the 17th edition. It is bound on leather and is ridiculously thick with hundreds, maybe thousands of entries. The scribe who wrote this tome includes helpful illustrations of the curse's effects, diagram wards against the curse, and embellished sections outlining cures where they could be had. Open the book at random to a curse, or try to determine the cleric's interest. I'll determine the cleric's interest. On a page containing Lewin's grim visage and lycanthropy, you can see a single sheet of paper contains a note written in an elegant looping hand. Despite the elegance, however, there are some words jaggedly crossed out, and some watermarks may contain mar certain words. It looks like the letter written was crying as they wrote. Letter says, "Dear Tomlin, I write to you now as a truly changed woman. I have returned from my pilgrimage, needing your strength and your love more than ever. The journey to my order and back was harrowing, to say the least. Yet, when I arrived in Langston, instead of a lover, I have a wedding to officiate. And while I can find it in my heart to love and forgive you, I fear that the darkness blooming in my heart will not forgive her. Okay, so it sounds like this is someone who loved Tomlin, but she had to come back and officiate the marriage. So Tomlin must have cheated on whoever this is about. Because I must tell you, and that's where the letter ends. There are words throughout that are scribbled out as if the author had been overcome with some emotion as they were writing. Keep the letter or put it back. I'm going to keep it. Add love letter to your inventory. Yes. Okay, I got the love letter. If you haven't done yet, you can examine the black book, or you can leave the library and look for Soulmate elsewhere. We're going to do that. From where you're standing in the central hall, the passage is to the north. Okay, let's... Sorry. All right, so we're going to go to the living... let's go to the dining hall. To the dining hall, this passage is essentially a foyer leading to a pair of double doors, with one left open on stuck hinges. Inside is a large dining hall containing 5 large round tables of smooth wood, each surrounded by 8 chairs. Walls are barred except for tall windows with frosted glass letting in the morning light. At the far end of the room, there's a door that leads into an adjoining kitchen. Through the open door, you can't see any window in the kitchen, but it is still well lit. You can either explore the dining room or look in the kitchen. Let's go to the kitchen. The kitchen is windowless, but glowing orbs set in the ceiling provide warmth, yellow light. The kitchen includes an indoor water pump over a wash basin, a dark iron stove, and a single setting of plate, bowl, and cutlery neatly stacked by the wash basin. The stove is stacked with one each of a pot, a pan, and a cauldron hangs in an unlit hearth. The stove itself does not seem to have not seen any much use and is getting some patches of rust on the top, but there is ash and soot around the door, so someone has lit it recently at least. A heavy wooden door is set into the darker granite frame. Looks like it could be a larger or cooler storage for some time. I'm interested in the larder. You open the larder and it is noticeably cool in here. Despite the cool darkness, you see wilted vegetables and sprouting potatoes. A moldy heel of bread sits alone on the shelf as if forgotten. However, there are several large cuts of meat hanging from hooks and wrapped in a rough cloth. There's beef, goat's legs, and 2 whole chickens. Given the state of some of the rest of the food, this looks surprisingly fresh. As you look closer, the raw meat seems to have small but ragged bite marks in it. However, the cleric's unusual diet does not offer you any clues about where she is at the moment, so you need to keep looking. I can take a closer look at the stove. The stovetop looks like it hasn't been used in some time due to the dust on top of it. However, there is a considerable amount of ash on the floor. Looking inside the stove, you find a charred remains and some articles of clothing. Examine the clothes or put them back. I'm going to examine them. You take a closer look with the burnt clothes, roll a wisdom perception check, or relate it to a proficiency check. I don't have one. What's the target number? 10 or more. I got 10. I got an 11. These are most certainly burned holy vestments, but they were not in good condition when they went into the fire. Many seams burst long ago, and you can see charred threads. On one cuff, you find a few droplets of what could be blood. As you handle the cloth, however, it crumbles in your hands. If you haven't done it yet, you can look at the larder or dining room. If you're finished in the kitchen, let's go to the dining room. The dining room is an expansive room lit with natural light. Each of the large round tables is nearly stowed in this state of disuse. Judging from the layers of dust on the furniture, no one has sat at these tables or conversed in a very long time. The sense of loneliness in the unused space of this room is palpable, but there is no sign of Selene anywhere. We can go to the kitchen, or we can go to the main entrance. From here, we can go to the living quarters. You see several empty, non-nostalgic, monolithic, empty monastic cells with doors standing open. A quick count reveals that there are 13 rooms with 6 on each side of the hall and 1 in the far end. Only the door at the end of the hall is closed, presumably the cleric's room. You head down the hallway towards the locked door. A skylight runs the length of the hall, letting the morning-side sunshine on the floors, and the walls inside are the same light-colored stone as the outside of the temple. And while smoother than the outside's weathered stone, they do not have much luster. Dust and cobwebs lurk in the corners that can catch them, especially those crevices that are hard to reach. The floor does not seem to have been polished in a lifetime. Some of the open doors reveal aging furniture silently collecting dust, while others are just as stark and barren prison cells. Your footsteps against the hard floor create echoes that come and go from room to room. The air smells strange aroma of dust bathed in sunlight. Once you reach the door through the gauntlet of oppressive stillness, you may knock, open the door and walk in, or examine the door and area around it. Let's examine the door and area around it. You take a closer look at the door and the area around it. At a glance, there's nothing unusual about the entrance at all. It's just a wooden door set in stone frame with the bronze hinges. Roll an investigation check, which I will. I'm going to roll with advantage because I can use that. I have inspiration, so we want to make sure that we can use it. So I'm going to use my inspiration. Oh my gosh, look at that, a 2 and a 3. I failed. You poke around the door, its latch and frame, and you find nothing to note. You can knock or simply go in. We're just going to walk in. The door is unlocked and swings open easily. The room inside is not completely empty, but is sparse. It consists of a single bed, a bare chair, a bedside table with an envelope on it, and wardrobe constructed of pale wood. You can take a closer look at the wardrobe, the bedside table. If you haven't done so, you can also examine the door and examine the entrance for clues. Let's try that again. It's asking us to examine the door. Hey, Gustavo, welcome. This time we fail. We still fail. You can take a closer look at the bed and bedside table or the wardrobe, which I will do. I will look at the bedside table. A single bed with linen sheets and a thick wool blanket is neatly made. In fact, it is so neat that you wonder if it was slept in last night. It's a very normal looking bed in every way, even if it doesn't look that comfortable. There's an envelope on the nightstand. It is worn, especially along the crease, and has clearly been opened many times. You can take the envelope and examine it. Yes. It's a love letter written in cringeworthy verse to express affection for Selene. Little more than an overdone limerick. The tract is titled A Thime for Love in the Sun and is signed by Tomlin. Oh, Selene and Tomlin. Given that it includes lines like your toes are dainty as the red rose and putting pansies forever into your handsies, you can't bring yourself to do more than scan the poem. You feel no value in taking this, and you are surprised Selene keeps it at all. Every line is worse than the last, and you feel dumber for having read it once. You put the poetry back in the envelope and return it to the nightstand and hope the gods have mercy on whoever wrote it. If you haven't done so yet, you can look at the wardrobe, or you can leave and return the entry hall. Let's look at the wardrobe. The wardrobe is full of various religious vestments. Interestingly, One of the robes shows evidence of recent and considerable repair. You also notice that the closet is not flush against the wall, and you can see something that seems to have fallen or been kicked behind a heavy piece of furniture. Move the wardrobe to look behind it, or use some magical means to lift the barely seen object out from behind the heavy piece of furniture. As far as magical means to lift stuff, I do not have Mage Hand. I just have a couple of spells that are for fighting. So we will move the door. Roll a strength check to push the closet aside. I have to get higher than a 12. Oh my gosh, I keep rolling so poorly. No matter how hard you try, you can't budge the closet door. If you haven't already, you can examine the bed and nightstand, or if you're finished in the sleeping chambers, you can return to the front hall. I really want to try again. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try one more time. I usually give... Uh-oh. There goes power. Just a moment. I need to put the battery pack. It just lost power. Whoops-a-daisy. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this strength check again. I'm not proficient in strengths checks because I am a warlock, but my hope is that I can at least attempt it. Let's see, I need to charge this battery here. We're still charging. Okay. There's gonna be a little bit more excitement here. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's see if I can roll it. I've been rolling so low all game. Yes, I got a 15. I got exactly a 15. If you get more, go to 238. All right. You move the closet and it grates against the floor. You retrieve a single ribbon that has fallen behind it and then push the furniture back into place. Now that you have it, you take a closer look at the ribbon. The ribbon is a lavender strip of silk, like the one a girl or young woman might wear in her hair. It's tied tightly to a tangle of knots and seems to have something stitched on it. The ribbon is relatively free of dust, suggesting that it has not been behind the wardrobe for long. However, it's also visibly blood-stained. Add embroidered silk ribbon to your inventory. Ooh, this could be a clue. It's called embroidered silk ribbon. Embroidered silk ribbon. Man, I went all over the place, and the only thing that I found was a lame limerick poem and this embroidered silk ribbon. Okay, if you haven't done so, you can look around the bed, or if there's nothing else to explore. Did we look around the bed? I did not. Oh, I did. Let's see. Or if there's nothing else of interest in the clerk's chambers, you can return to the front hall. Let's return to the front hall. Or you can take a wait to wait for the clerk. Okay, so we've done everything. That was kind of boring. I was hoping to be able to like fight something in the refrigerator. Why didn't something jump out at me? That's what I would have done. When you go exploring in like areas like this, I'm gonna say that something jumps out at me in the kitchen because this is so boring. I want to fight something. This is Dungeons and Dragons, not Narrative and Dragons. So we're gonna look at we're gonna kind of retcon that, and we're gonna fight something in the kitchen. Let's see if we can find a kitchen. Seaside restaurant 7. There's a map of a kitchen. Perfect. We will fight some mephits, some ice mephits. They're in my other box. Let's open this other box. And we will see if they can do some damage. We'll say if we die, then the cleric finds us in the kitchen. Okay. Let's move on to the kitchen. We went past the mess hall. As we were in the kitchen, 2 mephits jump out at us and attack. I really want to use better items, but let's do that. Okay, so let's look at let's look at this. The character sheet for a mephit is on my app, so I need to look at it. Let's look at creatures, species, monsters. Let's go mephit. Dust mephit. I'm not Nephi. Dang, that's a lot of hit points. These guys are tough. Okay, let's fight it. They might destroy me. No, not too bad. Oh, they got a blinding breath? Oof. Okay, we will say one of them, because it surprised me, it's going to use its blinding breath. Dexterity saving throw DC 10. I believe I have proficiency in this, and I have a +4. We easily dodge out of the way of the breath, and we are not blinded by its cone of ice. Let's roll initiative. Gold is me. We win the initiative, so we are going to go first. They surprise me, and I'm in this position, so I'm actually going to be using one of my first level spells, finally, Arms of Hadar. Arms of Hadar is invoking Hadar, you cause tendrils to erupt from yourself. Each creature 10 foot originating from you must make a strength save. On a fail, they take 2d6 necrotic damage and can't take reactions until the start of the next turn. On a successful save, a target takes half as much. So we are going to do that. We use our first level. They're going to do a strength save, both of them. We got 2 mephits. One of them saves, one of them fails. And they are going to take 2d6 cold damage, or necrotic damage. This will be signified by this dice. They take 4. So one mephit takes 4, and one mephit takes 2. So I will actually need to jot that down. I need a little notebook. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to keep track of this. I'm going to have to cast this twice, because this is going to hurt. Okay. Oh no. What happened? There we go. We got mephit 1. He takes 4. Mephit 2 takes 2. Okay, so it's their turn. Let's see what they've got. They can claw. So that's what they'll do. Both of them will claw at me, which hopefully I don't drop. Both of them miss, thankfully. I will... I actually wanted to move, but they... Never mind. So they go and they attack and they both miss. Now it's my turn. I'm going to do it again. Let's do it again. Arms of Hadar. Let's see if I can do more damage this time. They have to roll against my strength. One of them saves, one of them fails. We'll say that the first one saves, the first one fails. And then it does 2d6. Please roll high. 4 damage again. So both of them have taken 6 damage. Both of them are bloodied. They both have some hit points. They both have 17 hit points. Dang. Okay, I need to do some damage. They're going to both try to claw at me. Both of them miss. I will go ahead now and I will take a shot. Booming Blade. Yes, Booming Blade hits. I have a rapier. I do 4 plus 2 is 6 on the Mephit that hurt me. And then I will back up. No, that's a bad idea. I don't want to back up. Yes, actually, I will back up away from one of them so that he can do he will do a reaction to try to hit me. And what is my... I have an armor class of 13, so it hits, and he's going to do a d4 of slashing, which isn't too bad, all things considered, because if he moves, then he's going to take some damage, some lightning damage, which is nice. Where is that? There it is. He hits me 4, oh my gosh, 4 hit points. Actually, 4 plus 2, so it does 6. This could be... We'll do 4. Okay. All right. And I move. Now it's their turn. This Mephit is going to come up here and move towards me. Once he moves, he does take a d8 of lightning damage. We do 1 point of lightning damage. That puts him at 12, 13. So that one's almost dead. The other one's still at 6. They're both going to try to attack me. One of them hits. One of them misses. And they're going to do a d4. Oh my gosh. 4 points of damage. That's ruthless. Okay, we're almost cooked, but we're getting close. All right, I'm going to do my attack now. We're going to use Booming Blade. Let's see if we can hit. They have an AC of 11, I believe, and I have a +3. Yep. No, wait. I don't think that's enough. What's my attack? Isn't it 4? I think it's 4, yeah. My attack is 4, so I hit because I got an 8. Yep, I hit. So I get to roll a d8 plus 2. Yes, maximum damage. We will hit. I have to get 17. I rolled a 10. That kills this one. He pops. Let's see what happens when a Mephit dies. Death Burst. A Mephit explodes when it dies. A DC 10 or be hit. So I'm going to roll. I save the DC. Let's see if the Mephit does. The Mephit does not. It says a failure takes 2d4. Sorry, Mephit. You exploded next to your friend. And I think it's half damage. 4, that's 6 points of Mephit damage. Thank you. That puts him at 12. And so that was my turn. Now it's, hey, Dereva. I don't know how to say your other name. Hey, Charlin. Hey, Alan. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining. We are just in the middle of battle here, fighting these Mephits as we explored this decrepit kitchen. We've just we've just defeated, we've just unalived one of them. We have vanquished one of them. Let's try to vanquish the other. He just took some damage, and I took 3 damage as well, so we need to mark that. Ugh, I could be gone. Let's go 3 damage. Okay, let's. I've got 6 hit points left. This is bad. That'll be at least 2 hits. So now it's the Mephit's turn. He's going to try to attack me. Natural 20. Uh-oh, I could drop. Oof. I usually do double the dice. Oh, that sucks. Is there anything I can do? I'm down. Okay, we're down. Let's see what happens. Why don't we roll a percentile die and see if someone can hear me? Hey, BK, welcome. Martin, thanks for joining us. I just went down. I'm dead. And we'll see what happens here. Let's roll a percentile die to see if anyone heard me go down and go, ugh. That is a 97% chance that they did. So yes, someone heard me yell out. Let's see how many turns they heard me yell out. Thankfully, 1 turn away. Thankfully, they're only 1 turn away. So I drop. It's my turn. I need to roll a death save. I rolled a failure. Oh no. Oh crap. Let's see. Okay, now we're at the top of the turn. This is bad. Let's see if my cleric can come in time. Let's see. Yes, yes. She's at the top of the key now. Let's put my cleric here. So she comes running in, and she sees me, and she's going to use Healing Word, which gives me 1d4 plus 2. I'm healed 6 hit points. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. As this Clara Solus comes to my aid and rescues me. It's all a part of the plan, my friends. I rolled that. Hey, I didn't do that unfairly. That was completely fair. I let a percentile die heal me or save me, and you guys saw that I rolled. So it's now going to be my turn because I beat the Mephit. I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to, I don't want to die, but I think it's okay now that I'm here with that creature. I'm going to step back. Hopefully I can dispatch of this creature. It's going to have an opportunity attack. Let's see if it downs me. I think we've got a natural 20. It did not. It rolled an 8, which is not enough to hit me. Let me recall what mine is. My AC is 13. Yeah, I would not have been able to hit me. And I'm going to use now one of my favorite spells called Eldritch Blast. This is going to be a +4 to hit. Let's roll with my gold. Yes, that's a modified 20 to hit. I get to hit with a D10 plus 2 because of my Eldritch Invocation. 2 plus 2 is 4, and that's going to be just enough to pop it. It goes down, and as it goes down, anything within 10-foot radius will be hit with its death burst. 5-foot radius. And I thankfully stepped away, so I'm not going to be struck by the explosion of the Mephit. Thankfully, I survived. It wasn't unfair. I did it correctly. I promise you guys, there was no cheating there. That was a tough fight. It was 2-on-1. It was 17 hit points each, and I did go down, but the priest came and saved me, the cleric. So let's move on with the storyline and see what the priest has to say. Because I really wanted to fight something I didn't get to. That was a very, very epic battle. Okay, we are going to resume where we were at. It's going to say you take a seat and wait for a bit, even looking down the various passages to see if she somehow managed to sneak by you. The cleric still hasn't returned. You entertain yourself by looking around. The gold inlay mosaic on the floor is spectacular. You kick the gold for a moment and realize that it has been magically fused to the floor itself in the same sunburst motif that is used throughout the temple. Further up, aging tapestries hang on the walls depicting some epic event involving holy magic and evil undead. The tapestries rise up to the walls of the tower, alternating with the windows overflowing with morning sunlight in which floating motes of dust dance. To pass the time, you can examine the tapestries or take a closer look at the mosaic on the floor. Let's look at the tapestries. The tapestries show a holy order of sun, clerics raising the temple and banishing the undead. The story begins in darkness with skeletons and other undead monsters raising out of the midnight's black earth to devour common folk, and then glowing holy figures appear in the next wall hanging, impaling the restless dead with the beams of light radiating off of them. The next tapestry depicts white-robed figures standing in a ring, summoning a shaft of life down from the sun and striking the earth, replacing the deep darkness of the ground with a ring of green plants. The final tapestry shows the temple you are standing in amidst houses and other buildings with the sun and the bright blue sky behind it. Beneath the bright scene, however, is a band of black earth in which float dark red eyes lying in wait. You attempt to compare what you're seeing with your knowledge. Alternatively, you could either examine the mosaic if you haven't done so, or settle in and continue waiting. Let's see if I have knowledge. I need to do a history check, which I am very poor at. Let's check out a history check. History is not one of my skills. It's a -1, so see if we can even come close. We rolled a 3. If you pass, click that button. If I fail, 171. The tapestry depicts holy figures wielding brightly shining light against some undead menace, but you lack context for events you're seeing. If you haven't done so, you can check the mosaic on the floor. Let's check it. At first, you think it's a beautiful bit of tile work depicting the same sun signal adorning the rest of the temple, surrounded with concentric rings of sunbeams and rays. It takes a moment for you to realize that there are no visible tiles at all. So either the whole floor is carved from a single enormous stone, or magic was a bit part of the building's construction. By the way, I'm going to take a short rest because of me just hanging out here, because I took a lot of damage. I am going to take a short rest. I'm going to get back my my spell slots. And how much health do we heal back? I healed back 13, so now we are healed to full, which is nice. Excellent. And by the way, didn't I have an ability that I could have used? Because I am a Azamar. I could have used something. I'm being called right now. Oh, alert. Oh, I have healing health as well. Okay. Let's try this. Ow, I threw my phone. Whoops. Okay, let's keep going. At first you think it's beautiful. Let's see. Lost in the shining patterns on the floor, you catch your foot on something as you're walking around. The central holy symbol isn't perfectly flat and is slightly indented. The shape of the indent is a much smaller sunburst, about the size of a gnome's hand. With its fingers outstretched, you can visually examine the indent, explore using mason's or thieves' tools, or you can use a weapon to probe it. I have thieves' tools. A proficiency check with thieves' tools is required. I have a +4. That's going to get me a 9. I did not get enough. Oh wait, I got I got I believe I have no, I don't have inspiration. Dang, I keep rolling so low. What? Fine, I gain inspiration. I think I hit the wrong one. Cracks open momentarily along the lines of the concentric circles. It looks like a mechanism that would sink into the floor. You can either try to manipulate the sunburst shape or leave it alone. Of course, I'm going to manipulate it. As you further probe the intent, you feel a buildup of magical energy. Roll a dexterity saving throw or take radiant damage. Natural 20, I save. Excellent. With a faint click, the sun-shaped opening returns to its hidden state. The seams vanish entirely. Something beneath the floor also grinds into place. Despite your best efforts to find it, nothing remains of the indent on the floor. It requires some key or object to open. Despite your curiosity, you will have to move on to the tapestries. If you've already explored everything you want to, then you can settle and continue waiting for the cleric. Dang it, I didn't get it. Hi LV, thanks for joining. Oh lad, I appreciate you joining as well. Welcome to the stream. We are trying to figure out this cleric temple of the sun. Solane finally returns to the temple through the main doors. Face ashen and muttered under her breath. The hem of her white robe is stained black with what looks like soil, some of it falling in clumps off her slippers. You startle her when you stand to greet her. Oh! A flash of fear and anger passes over her face before she composes herself. She continues in a more measured, even cheerful tone. Who are you? And what can I do for you? You let her know that you have been invited. You show her note. Ah, yes, of course, she says with a warning smile. Of course, you're the adventurer the mayor spoke of. Have you been waiting long? You give a polite but non-committal answer. That's good, the cleric says, obviously not having listened to your reply. I'm Selene, the caretaker of this temple. It's not often I receive guests, so it is... Is there anything I can do for you before we get business at hand? Selene asks what you need to know and looks at you expectantly. You can't resist her obvious and earnest desire. Ask about Tomlin, get more details of the undead connection, or just wonder aloud why this temple is so big. Yay, Bill. I don't want to frighten her, so I'm going to talk about how big the temple is. Selene looks around as if seeing the temple for the first time. Oh, it is rather large, isn't it? She says with a smile. Apparently there was a time that being caretaker of the temple wasn't a solitary post. There was a whole community full of protectors, but that just isn't the case anymore. You ask how that changed so much over time. Most people don't even know why the temple is here anymore, she says, gesturing up at the tapestries hanging on the walls. But the temple is why Langston is here. The temple keeps the dead in their graves, or it has until now anyway. She trails off, and you're about to ask her for more before she looks back at you with an unusually big smile, and why it will continue to do so for as long as the Order of Radiant Light remains in place here at the temple. It only needs one of us to fulfill the terms of the spell, so I'm here alone, only going on a pilgrimage to my order's enclave and return before the magic can fade. She pauses, rubbing her hands on her robe, but still smiling at you. I won't lie, though, it does get lonely from time to time, so thank you so much for stopping by. What else can I do? If there's more to ask about, you can do the Tomlin, you can do the temple. We'll talk about Tomlin. Ah, Tomlin, Selene says, her features following at the moment before she puts a sad smile back on her face. Well, it's common knowledge that we were lovers at one point, though that's hardly an exclusive honor I have. Yoso, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Welcome, guys. Welcome. She gives you a bright laugh, checking to see if you're laughing too. Still, he said that he would wait for me, and that I was his only love. When I was called back to my order's enclave, but it seemed he found his second only love. The cleric takes a moment to collect herself. The pilgrimage back to the Order of Radiant was difficult. The trip back, more difficult. But thinking of him made this lonely temple more bearable. Sadly, it was not meant to be. Sadly, it was not to be. She takes another deep breath. I returned to the man I loved being betrothed to another. It was devastating, but I overcame it. After all, my duty is to all of Langston. You ask why she is telling you all of this. This is common knowledge around here, she says with an unusually broad smile. Better you hear it from me than the town gossip. So with that is out of the way, what can I do for you today, adventure? You can ask about the connection between the temple and the undead, or ask about the size of the temple. Or if you don't have any other questions as Celine, you can ask to see Maybelline's body before it's interred. We'll ask about the temple and the undead. Celine looks shocked for a moment and studies your face carefully as she brushes at her dirty robes. Apparently satisfied with what she sees, the young cleric takes a deep breath and gestures to the tapestries hanging around you. This temple was raised hundreds of years ago, long before Langston was here. Those lands were ruled by the dead. The Order of Radiant constructed these grounds to prevent the dead from rising, but it was not enough. Some fell magic corrupted the soil so that the dead buried in it rose again. Ashes shadowed upon the return in malevolent spirits. She paused for a moment, clutching her fists, and struggled with some overwhelming emotion. When she continued, her voice shaken slightly. So to protect the land, a caretaker was installed. As long as the power of the Order of Radiant remained in the temple, the land would be still. At least one member of our order has been present in Langston ever since. It is our duty to keep the land safe as much as it is Roy's. You thank Solon for the story, but you aren't here for a history lesson. What can I do for you? Let's go to Maybelline's body. You say that you're here to examine Maybelline's body. The mayor has informed you that the body is due to be buried tomorrow, and that this way may be your last chance to gather some clues as to the identity of the killer. No, Solon says with an emphatic shake of her head. Definitely not. It's just not necessary, and an affront to the family of the deceased. I'm very sorry, but I can't let you. You're confused. This was to be the purpose of your visit. You can try to understand her resistance or try to convince her to let you see Maybelline. Let's see what my skills have. I'm good at deception. That's about it. Let's try to understand her resistance. You observe Selene carefully, trying to determine why she is not willing to let you. Let's do an insight check. Perfect. Gain inspiration. There is an undercurrent of fear in the cleric's refusal to see the body, but its source of the fear is unclear. You mention that it's fine and that there's nothing to be afraid of. Afraid? Oh goodness, no, she says. I was thinking of the poor family is all. She is so badly hurt. But if you insist, then I suppose I can't stop you. Just be careful, don't damage the body. She then gives you directions to the cemetery adjoining the temple and says that the body is lying in rest in the mausoleum. The altar there is enchanted to prevent the body's decay and it waits a week for interment. You thank her and leave. She smiles faintly and turns her attention to gazing tapestries. As you reach the door, you can faintly hear Selene begin shuffling back and forth, muttering under her breath again. You leave her to her one-sided conversation and head out of the cemetery. Okay, excellent. We've finally gotten out of the temple. We've made our way through, and Blake the Beauty has joined the chat. Thanks for joining, Blake. What are we at as far as time? We're good. Let's see if we can fight something. Following Selene's directions, you enter the cemetery from the north. With a bright morning sun streaming across the whole graveyard, the hard edges of the headstone are lined with golden light. Flagstone paved paths wind between rows of graves covered with green grass. From what you can see, the mausoleum stands in the center of the graveyard, but the same light covering stone of the temple. It stands a vigil over the more varied headstones and monuments that mark individual resting places. Flowers in various stages of freshness dot the headstone and plot through the cemetery with a larger, fresher collection of mausoleum steps. Far to the left, you see one of the graves is disturbed in a strange eruption of deep black earth. It doesn't look like a grave that's been dug, but you can tell from what it is here. You can look at the dug up grave, or you can go straight to the body. Let's go to the grave. As you approach, you see the earth was hastily dug up from underneath. Poking up through the earth, bits of rotted cask, you can see a skeleton frozen in what seems like an attempt to freeze itself from the earth and reach the sky. It's still, but the skull is cracked and sits at a lopsided angle. Based on the amount of decomposition and the headstone, this person has been dead for decades. However, beside the fact the skeleton is half hanging out of a mound of fresh black earth, bits of thin wood and dirt on the skeleton's fingers indicate that it dug its way out. It seems these remains have at least a brief respite being fully dead. Whatever magic reanimated the skeleton is gone. However, there is a large crack in its skull and a broken piece of paving stone nearby, half buried in the unusually dark soil, as someone threw a flat stone a second time. Though odd, you can't see anything threatening about the disturbed grave. It's time to do what you came for and examine Mabeline's body. The mausoleum, Ennis and Truly, thanks for joining. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We are learning about Mabeline's death by examining her body before it is put to rest by the cleric. We're at a mausoleum. The mausoleum is a stone structure with a large white limestone altar in the middle of the room. There is no windows, but it is lit with recessed orbs set to the ceiling, cast bright light through the structure. The body of a young woman is lying on this white slab. Even at this distance, you can see deep gouges across the woman's face, neck, and forearm. She clutches a ragged bouquet of pink flowers in her hands. A white sheet, presumably used to cover the body, is lying on the ground at the base of the altar. You freeze as the body slowly turns its mangled face and looks at you. Oh my heavens. Oh snap. Dang. Look at this, guys. Whoops. Can I tap the picture? I can't tap the picture. Dang. Check her out. Mabeline is looking grossly at us with a snarl. Mabeline's corpse sits up from the altar and begins to stagger towards you. Arrgh. You can't let this creature get loose in town, so you ready yourself to meet in battle. The undead creature drops the bouquet of flowers and reaches for you. If you reduce the zombie, the risen corpse. Can I tap on this? I thought I could. Whatever. Okay, let's fight Mabeline. Let's find a suitable map to put her in. Give me a second. I have a book of maps. This is a mausoleum. Welcome, Michael. Welcome, Mary. And welcome, Ben. We're just about to battle here. You can see Mabeline has animated and come to life. We thought that it was going to be enough for her body to be preserved, but we don't want to kill her necessarily because she's going to be buried and have the funeral. But it's kind of crazy that she came to life. We're going to look for a graveyard or a mausoleum. We have an elemental temple. That might be a good spot. Normally they would have. I have a book of. Oh, here we go. Tombs. Treasure tomb. Why don't we do that? That sounds good. 16. Treasure tomb. Let's take a look at that book. That should be sufficient for this episode. Here we go. Okay. This looks good. This looks really good. And then I got to get myself a zombie. Why don't we make it one of my pretty... this girl looks fine. This is Mabeline, and she's even holding... something. So let's switch gears and jump over to this arena where we can have battle. Okay, so she stands up. I make my way right here. And the battle ensues. Welcome, Mr. Handsome. Thanks for joining. Let's roll initiative and see who goes first. Mabeline is going to go first. Okay. Mabeline has a speed of 20 feet. So she's going to go brains 5, 10, 15, 20. And she has an action to slam. She's going to try to attempt to slam me as she walks up to me. She rolls a 4 and misses, so we are good. I'm going to step around her, just so we're not outside of this battle map, and I'm going to attack her with my rapier. I'm going to use Booming Blade. I hit her. I do a D8 plus 2. That's going to be 3 damage. Let's go zombie 1. I do 3 damage. And I'm going to step away from her. She's got 22 hit points. So we're going to step away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Because we have better speed than her, she can only move 20. She's going to have to double move. But when she moves, she's going to take some extra damage. She is going to react. What's up, DJ? She's going to hit me. And she's going to slam me with a D6 plus 1. So she hits me for 5 damage. That's tough. Oof. Okay, that did not feel good. Darn you, Maybelline. Alrighty, let's say hello. We're fighting now. Let's change the music to fighting music. I always forget to do that. Okay, we got battle music. Okay, it's her turn. She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 as her regular move. She's imbued with magical energy because of my Booming Blade, and so she's going to take another D8 of damage, which is a 1. It's too bad. I was hoping for a lot more damage. So she's taken 4 of 21. I have taken more of that. She's going to double move as well so that she can approach me. I am going to move. It's now my turn. She used both of her move and action. I'm going to go 5. I'm actually going to disengage 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I will not disengage, and I will double move 60. So I'm going to move all the way out of the door. So she's gonna be pretty far away from me. Okay, she's going to do a reaction to try to hit me. She hits me. Darn it. Oh my heavens, she hit me for another 6 damage. Unbelievable. I don't think I can kill her. Ugh, I'm almost dead. Okay, it's her turn. I moved 60. Let's see. I need to map this out. Why don't we map it out better? We'll do something like this. So we were here, and I went 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so I'm that far away from her. I'm going to use speed in my defense. Hi, Technomancer. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Let's go and see what she does. So on her turn, she's going to double move. So she's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm going to get a couple of pot shots on her. It's my turn. She's right in the middle of the place. I'm going to shoot her with my Eldritch Blast. It's a D20 plus 4. Excellent. That is a 16 to hit. I roll a D10 of Eldritch Blast damage. That's going to be 6 plus, I have a plus 2 modifier on that. And then I need to heal. Or maybe I heal first. Instead of doing that, I think I need to heal. I can do... As an action, you can heal. I'm actually going to heal. I don't want to die. We're going to heal. Okay. We're going to heal instead of attack. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I rolled the wrong dice. It's a D4, 2D4. Thankfully, I rolled the wrong dice. Hi, Martinez. Thanks for joining. Yeah, 7 hit points. I heal 7 hit points. This is one of the most difficult battles I've done so far. Excellent. We healed a significant amount. And then I'm going to move to the back corner, 5'10". She may not be able to attack me, which is good. We're using our distance as a way to protect ourselves. So it's now her turn. What's up, GT? And what's up, Enrith? Thanks for joining. We're trying to kill this zombie. It's really strong. She's basically the main character that died and that we're investigating, and she reanimated, which is kind of crazy. Okay, so she's going to come up and go 5, 10, 15. She was here. 5, 10, 15. No, she was here. 5, 10, 15, 20. Dang. So she is going to be able to attack. Thankfully, we healed ourselves, so hopefully she doesn't. She's been rolling really high lately. She misses. Excellent. And I lost power to the top camera. I think it died. The camera expired. Darn it. Do I not have... That's no bueno. Uh-oh. I ran out of batteries. This isn't good. I thought I had longer battery life. Not good at all. I have to charge these guys. Ugh. Sorry about the wait, guys. This is the epic battery, or epic battle. Hey, Jose, thanks for joining. We stepped away because my battery died. Now it's back up. Okay, so it's her turn to attack. She's going to try to attack me. She misses. Excellent. I'm going to step around her. I think I still want to double move. That might be the best call. She's kind of got me pinned here. If I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, she can go 5, 10, 15, 20. She can still catch up. That's what stinks. If I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, she can still go 5, 10, 15, 20. So she can still catch up to me just where I'm at. Maybe I'll do it next turn. Okay. We'll go around her and we will punch her from behind. We have Booming Blade. I'm going to roll an attack. 7 plus, I believe she only has an AC of 8. Mine's a 7 plus 4. So that's 11. Let me make sure that she's only got 8 AC. Yes, she has an AC of 8. So I hit. Come on, baby. Let's roll high. Oh, nice. That's 6 plus 2 is 8. Finally. That puts her at half health. She's bloodied. I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to step back. Hopefully she misses again. I went 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She's going to take an opportunity attack. Ah, she hits. Dang. Oh, she's been hitting so hard. Another 6 damage. Oh, boy. I still might be able to pot shot her, possibly. This is bad. Okay, that's the end of my turn. Now it's on her turn. High level, thanks for joining. We're just trying to defeat this zombie. She's gonna move up to me. She's gonna take D8 because of the booming blade. 5 damage. Excellent. She's almost donezo. I've almost vanquished her. She's gonna go ahead and roll an attack. This may kill me. Oh my heavens, she's been hitting so hard. Oh, she rolled 4 5s in a row. Unbelievable. That's 6 damage. I've got 1 hit point left. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay. It's my turn. Let's go ahead and do Booming Blade. This has to hit. Unless I have to have another ability somewhere. There's got to be something else that I've got. Let's see what we've got. Oh, I haven't used any of my spells. Okay, so I've got Pack Magic, Alert. Okay, I'm going to use Celestial Revelation, which allows me to sprout either wings or radiance, or inner radiance, wings, or necrotic shroud. Let's see what it says. You deal radiant damage equal to my proficiency bonus each turn. Why didn't I do that this whole time? Why didn't I do that? We'll do that right now. Inner radiance. Searing light temporarily radiates from your mouth and eyes. For the duration, you shed bright light and dim light. Each creature within 10 feet of you. Oh, wait. This does damage to me as well. No. At the end of each of your turn, each creature within 10 feet of you takes radiant damage. Yeah. I should have been doing that. Why didn't I do that? So we will do that. It wouldn't let me select it. Why? Okay, we're going to do that. So it takes 2 damage. Wait, when does it say? It says when. Darn it, I wish I would have done that. At the end of each of your turns. So at the end of my turn. So we're going to explode into radiant light. JH, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. We're also going to do a booming blade. Yes, we finally hit. Please. Oh, full damage, baby. We didn't even need to do the inner light. 8. We do 25 damage total for the last few turns. Oh, no, we do 27. That was 10 points of damage. Boom, baby. As it explodes in light, we finally best that zombie. That was the most difficult. That's the most difficult battle that we've had so far. We were able to fell the beast. Whoops. We were able to fell the beast. She goes down. And now we're going to continue on with this narrative. If I reduce the zombie to 0, go to 297. Maybelline's corpse rolls a constitution saving throw against DC 5 plus the last damage you dealt, which was 10. I did 10 damage. So she has to roll above a 15. If you are a diviner spellcaster, you can expend a spell slot to make the zombie automatically fail its save. I am not. If you are a divine spellcaster, if it fails, it's not going to save. It completely fails. Womp, womp. Let's see. 2, 4, 6. Gain inspiration. Oh, I almost died. I've got 1 hit point. I just gained inspiration. You defeat the undead creature, and what remains of it falls to the floor lifeless once again. You can now examine the corpse for injuries you did not cause, or go back to the temple to let Selene know what you found. We're going to examine the corpse. Besides the wounds you've inflicted, the body seems to have been mauled by a wild animal. The claw marks are broad and deep and are deep, not what you expected from the bony claws or even most beasts of the forest. There's a rage to the pattern of the claw marks as well, with many crisscrossing and seemingly at random. There's also a bouquet of pink flowers with the tag that the creature discarded that you can examine, or you can go back to the temple. We're going to look at the flowers. It's a bouquet of daisies accented with pretty pink flowers, but they're the only ones here in the mausoleum. You check the tag and it reads, "Rest well, Maybelline." It's signed by Tomlin, the herbalist. Whoa! The flowers are crushed and broken, the only ones that the zombie picked up from the outside of the mausoleum. With all that information you've collected, you need to go back to the temple and let her know what's happening. Selene is surprisingly still in the front. Is surprisingly still in the front entry hall. She's staring up at the tapestry showing holy warriors radiant sunbeams destroying an army of skeletons. She jumps and stifles a shriek when you rush into the temple's entry hall. "You're back so soon? I mean, what did you learn?" You tell her what you saw, and that you had to kill poor Maybelline a second time. "It shouldn't be possible," she whispers over and over as she clutches her holy symbol. She ignores you, and the silence stretches into an awkward length of time. You can interrupt her or wait for her to snap out of it, or just leave. I'm going to wait. Selene stands in relative silence for a moment before looking up at you, seemingly startled that you're still there. "You should speak with the mayor," she says, "and I must return to my studies. Yes, the answer should be there. It must be in there." She rushes to the library down the northern passage, and the door bangs shut behind her. With nothing else happening here in the temple, you shrug and make your way back to town to speak with the mayor. You leave Selene anxiously talking to herself at the temple and hurried back to the town hall. The mayor aside greets you at the door and escorts you to the office. "Did you learn anything new?" she says. Instead of greeting, she is writing in some document with an ink pen. You let her know that Maybelline's corpse rose and attacked you. The mayor sets down her pen and gives you her whole attention. You explain everything you saw at the cemetery. "That shouldn't be possible," blurts the aide in the first real emotion you've seen him express. "The temple and its cleric are meant to protect the town. Is the magic fading? What of Selene? What is she doing about it?" You say that you left her in the temple and it's not clear what she will do next. "Compose yourself," the mayor says to her aide before addressing you. "With this new threat, we must complete the murder investigation." The mayor orders the aide to call up the militia to patrol the graveyard, especially at night, and draws up a proclamation announcing the accusation of Maybelline's murder. "First Maybelline, and now this." The aide mumbles and leaves the office. "Maybe it's time to go to the school in the city like Mother wants." "We could use your help patrolling the streets tonight," the mayor says, "if you can manage after your ordeal today. Get some rest or go on a patrol with the militia." I'm almost dead. I'm definitely going to bed. I almost died to her. She beat the crap out of me, and I missed every single one of my attacks. And so I'm definitely not going to help. Someone might die, and that might be my fault, but I'm willing to take that chance. Hey, Smith, thanks for joining. Let's get some rest. You have a meal and turn in for the night. Your rest is interrupted by one or more wolves howling in the distance, but it's just the regular sounds of the forest, and you quickly settle back for the rest of the night. Gain the benefits of a long rest, for sure. I almost died. Also, I'm going to level up because I fought so much stuff. There's no breakfast delivered to your door, and you go upstairs to find the mayor sitting at one of the tables in the tavern's common room. Chapter 6. Let's level up and then wrap up for the day. That was really exciting. I fought a zombie. I fought some mephits. We talked to Selene, who is the lost lover, I guess, of Torlin, who was Maybelline's, not widow, but Maybelline's fiance. So lots of interesting stuff going on here on this chapter. I think it's been a great stream so far. Let's level up real quick and show you what that looks like. I need some more spells. I need some more heals, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and manage levels. I imagine that we're at 317, so I want to go back to see if there was something here. Nope. How do I... It's not letting me... Here we go. I wonder if there's any direction here of leveling up. I wanted to see what the rules were on leveling up, because I haven't leveled up in like 4 chapters. Okay. Oh, here's what the town looks like. That's a map of the town. Let's look at the requirements. 5th edition character, crowdfunding, 3,500 backers. Thank you. DRM free. Introduction. 5th edition. The goal. What you'll need is a character level 1 or 2. That I would have died if I was level 1. That was so difficult. The solo version is designed to work on its own, but we understand advancing the player may want to run encounters more like a traditional table of experience, so we provide optional self-DM materials as an optional PDF. Again, this is not necessary to enjoy the solo adventure, but it's an option for players who enjoy. For here, you can get the self-DM content. You can create your own character in D&D Beyond, about you. Let's see. The Wolves of Langston have been written for tiers level 1 to 4 characters to play. This means that certain parts will be challenging for level 1 character, but most will be very easy for level 4 character. How to play. Rolling the dice in the text. You can make a check. Failing. Combat encounters. When you start a combat encounter, you do the following. It says read the block because the creature will take a special action before attacking. Roll initiative for you and your opponent. What? Choose an action. If you're attacking, roll damage. Repeat until either your opponents are dead or have fallen. Hi, Tiger. Thanks for joining. Trying to figure out how to level up. Oh, you can save multiple inspirations. I see. Let's see. Because no DMs give you personalized rewards, getting inspiration when you're in the bag, blah, blah, blah. It's not saying anything about leveling up. Level up. I need to learn how to level up. What is this? For ideas, join our Discord after the adventure. For Dungeon Masters. We've created an info pad for DMs who haven't read. I want to integrate it. Strong spoilers, blah, 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 chapter 1. Okay, so there's nothing about leveling up. I'm going to say I level up because we're about halfway through the journey. So we're going to go back to where we left off. The accusation. And we're going to level up. We're definitely going to level up. So, let's level up. Let's hit next. We're going to go to level 3. We are using a warlock. I want to choose a warlock subclass. We also have the agonizing blast. Pact of the Blade. I Devil's Sight doesn't help. I think I want to do a few things here. You have advantage on Constitution throws. Armor of the Shadows. You can cast Mage Armor yourself by expending some. Yes, I think I want to do that so I can have a higher. What else do we have? There's a lot of different options here to level up. And so I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Eldritch Spear? What is that? You choose one of your known warlock cantrips and deal damage that has a range of 10 plus feet. You can cast this spell and increases the number of feet equal to 30 times your warlock level. Oh, this allows me to cast it at a further range. That's fine. Fiendish Vigor. You can cast False Life on yourself without expanding a stealth slot. When you cast a spell with this feature, you don't roll the dice. For temporary hit points, you automatically get the highest number on the die. Okay, I may want to do that. Fiendish Vigor. And then Pact of the Blade. That doesn't really work. Repealing Blast is probably the best because I can push people away. Fiendish Vigor gives me temporary hit points. And I think I might want to do Pact of the Chain. I can do Find Familiar. That actually might really help. Having a little familiar. Hi, John. Thanks for joining. Having a familiar, having False Life, which is nice. And then our Eldritch Blast. I haven't been able to get some distance between some of these creatures. So what's lessons of the first one? You gain this. Let's see. You gain an origin fate of your choice. Ooh, that actually might be nice. An origin feat would include like a cleric initiative. That way I can get I think charisma is my, and I can get guidance. I can also get cure wounds, and I can get Toll the Dead or Words of Radiance. Words of Radiance would be nice. Hi, Evie.
He's dead.
I'm just going to the end of it. And I actually can wrap up right here. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining. We're going to wrap up here. Chapter 6. This is the very end. Chapter 6, the accusation. We finished Chapter 4 and Chapter 5. Thanks for joining Andy with Fate's Forge. We'll see you on the next adventure, adventurers.